Hello, 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 hello. It's Sean Brady interviewing my man Rodney from Alabama. But Rodney, you've been you've had a very interesting career in building homes.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So, that's a different section of the country. And you were just telling me how, people at a certain time were building on slabs.
Right. We didn't start building them in the Birmingham area until around 1990.
Until 1990.
Right, yeah.
So what happened? So the pre-1990, what does that mean for those homes?
Well, we either had basement homes. It rolls a good bit in Birmingham. So
right.
A lot of the houses basements,
country.
and they would be crawl spaces.
Okay.
But it's much cheaper to build one on a slab than it is a crawl space.
Sure.
So it becomes way more affordable for a bigger percentage of the population.
Right.
And one of the things that I saw with that was, down the road a few years when there was a sewer backup issue, it was much, it did a lot more damage to the house.
Oh, yeah. Well, how would they so they couldn't get to the sewer problem?
Well, yeah, but there's not as much telltale signs for like backup, and depending on how the sewer lines will run and everything. If there's a problem with the main, the houses on the lowest section,
they're going to back up.
Yeah. With the laterals, the ones with the lowest laterals, they're going to back up in the house.
Yeah.
And not to say that it doesn't happen in other houses, but it just seemed like it was a lot more prevalent.
Right.
And a lot of that too is because now we're packing in a lot more people on smaller lots. When you can build, even on that slab, the lots are continually squeezing down. And then at that point, I think we were working with 50 and 60 foot lots.
Oh, wow. Okay. So if you're in a situation like that where there's a lot of homes and things like that you don't want to be on the low ground for sure.
Right.
As much as possible, look for buying or building on higher ground, of course.
Yeah,
which
and
is
then of course
sage
a
advice.
lot of it's lifestyle too.
Right.
What is all the members of your household? What are they putting?
Excuse me. I'm sorry. The chorizo putting on.
That's okay.
Top. That's fine.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
And for you all that are listening right now around the country, around the globe, we're here at the Oasis Cafe in San Antonio having a big old breakfast. I'll take a picture of it of me and Rodney, and it'll be fun. But so what else should people be looking for then? So that's one thing. What else have you, with your years of experience and decades of experience of building homes, rehabbing homes, what do you look for when you want to buy an investment property or a home for yourself that you want to work on?
Oh wow, I see so much more than most people, but I'm a big fan of brick, at least close to the ground.
Close to the ground.
Masonry close to the ground versus some sort of a siding. And
Miss, can I have corn tortillas?
Yes.
Gracias.
Alex, ¿me das dos tortillas de maíz?
And that's all recorded right now.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Fun. It's kind of fun.
I know. So what else? So like for John Q. Public, right? They're not builders. They don't necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking doors the other day. It's like, I got these awesome doors.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And it's like, what else could people be looking out for themselves? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. What else could people be looking for?
Well, like I say, there's so much. One of the things that I think is very important and have for ever since I started building is the energy efficient quality of the house.
Yes.
If it's an older home, it might not have any attic insulation in it, and for $400 or $500, you can put your insulation up there, and it'll pretty much pay for itself in a year.
Wow.
And adding storm windows or.
Do you need anything else? Everything is okay?
Yeah, I think this looks. Oh, hot sauce.
It's here.
It's right in front of me. Right in front of me, inside me.
Some
Okay,
butter,
thank you.
please.
Yes, here.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
And either adding storm windows or replacing the windows with insulated, it makes a huge difference.
Right.
And then, the simple things that the power companies tell people, make sure that your caulking is up to date around the windows and doors and stuff like that. You'd be surprised how important that is. There's so much heat loss and heat gain there. And then, of course, looking for water. It's real hard to tell when you start to get some sort of a water problem, whether it's coming off of a gutter and it's kind of flipping over there into the cornice area of the house, or coming in maybe at the roll lock right below a window, at the window seal area. And
that's another good reason to caulk
stuff.
So you got to just keep that up to date.
But when you've got a really small spot, over years, you might not be actually see any water damage itself, and then one day you'll see a little bit of discoloration, and when you get inside there, you've practically got rot. And sometimes you do.
Right. So as a real estate investor, is that something that you look for? It's like those little problem things, or
I do. I look basically for everything, and when you're looking at that, at rehabbing that type home, you're not looking for perfection.
No.
The cosmetics, to me, aren't nearly as important as taking care of the issues of the house.
Absolutely. And you said something yesterday in our Life and Air, I think it was your granddaddy, who said, it's like, hey, you're putting your name on this house, right?
And his name.
And his name, right? It's like, you're taking my surname, my family name, you're putting it on this house. Don't mess it up.
That's right.
And you're kind of like with the stance of, this is my house forever. Like, not that you're actually going to live in it forever, but your name's on it.
That's right.
I've seen so many, jobs where they just do the cosmetic work and they don't fix the structural issues, and that's no dang good.
Right. Well, and that's just a matter, I think, of it's how somebody lives,
right?
And I don't, I live by that golden rule, and if I didn't know anything about construction or whatever, and I had somebody say, okay, look, this looks pretty on the outside, I would have to trust.
Right.
There's an element of trust that you have
yes.
in that building. And one of the things that even though it can be aggravating at times, when most buyers these days have an independent inspector come
yes.
in, and that's money well spent for them, because if there is an issue, generally they're going to find it.
Yeah. So more sage advice there: get a home inspection with a reputable inspector. I always recommend, if you don't know anybody in the area, always get 3 references from everybody. Get 3 references for your attorney, 3 references for your realtor. Most people never do that. And then certainly, if you talk to a couple, 3 realtors, say, hey, who do you use for your home inspections? And they should give you, by that way you'll at least get hopefully 3 different names, or ideally maybe even the same name if they're really good.
Mm-hmm. But on the flip side, one of the aggravating things about the home inspectors, because society is so litigious.
Yes.
The verbiage, the wordage that they use, it's like, okay, the roof it looks to be about 3 years old.
Right.
And, it's not leaking now, but one day it's going to leak. It's going to wear out.
Right.
And that verbiage.
It's like, what does that mean? Is that now?
Yeah, exactly. And it scares an awful lot of buyers. And the next thing you know, they want, everything that's got that verbiage in it they want. And it's like, well, what you're asking for is a brand new home. And guess what? That roof is going to one day wear out and leak too.
Right.
So it's...
Or you have all the problems of a brand new home that is just settling and
working out the bugs.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's great advice.
But it's with life, there's always a kind of another side of the coin, I guess.
Man, that's some good stuff. Well, Rodney, thank you. Thank you for this conversation, and I know people appreciate your wisdom from decades of doing it.
Yeah.
Is there anybody you want to say a hey to, a shout out, and do a little hello to back home?
Well, yeah, Mom. You know, hey, Granny.
Hey!
How are you, baby? I'm going to see you on Sunday.
See, there you go.
Well.
All right. Thanks for listening, and for those of you out there doing it, we'll see you on social media.
Okay, so
we do that, and then right now adding applause for the clap for a second, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.